You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
Are we gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
We
great.
should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know?
Welcome to the Hug Life podcast. I'm Monica Debbie.
And I'm Mike Coletta. That
And
was
this
weird.
is our podcast.
Why'd you do that like that?
Because I want to do a different opening. Did you not like it?
I feel like we didn't talk about it, but you're so great.
You're still great. Hey, you're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You know who else is great?
Philip Fox is great.
Phil
You're
Fox
great.
is great.
You're
You
guys are great.
Yeah, now
Fox
you
like the
get it.
animal.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. You
Great
guys are
like
Fox,
the
so great.
animal.
Fox like the car insurance. Isn't that crazy like a fox?
What?
Is that
Crazy
right?
like the fox.
Sure.
They were sponsored us.
Fox like
so.
the sound
Oh, okay.
that it makes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fox like. Is that what a fox sounds like?
Nobody knows,
Did
but
you
that could be it.
Were you upset by that song when it came out? What does the fox say?
I mean, it was annoying for a while.
Yeah.
Luckily, the hype died down, so there's not as many
Were you
people
like
that
the
come
fox says "fuck you"? That's what you said.
up. Yeah, I just go, oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Oh no, but yeah, I always go. You're the first.
You're the
Oh, never.
first person that I punched in the face.
You're the first.
You should go up to on stage. You should go up to that song. That should be the song you go up. Is that what? Because you know it's like, what does
That's
the fox say? And you
hilarious.
come up, and it's like you're.
I mean,
Phil
you should.
Fox.
That's a good idea. But
People actually do that to you?
Oh,
speaking of
yeah,
selling
absolutely.
yourself,
That's gotta be
Absolutely.
the worst.
oh, I knew that.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, well, welcome to the podcast,
Oh,
Philip.
good.
Thanks for having me, you
Philip Fox
guys.
is a
For
stand-up
doing
comedian.
it. I
He
couldn't-
lives in Los Angeles. He's really good looking.
No,
You're welcome, buddy.
I got a new haircut too.
I
didn't
saw. I
shave
like
it.
it.
I didn't quite do
That's
it today
kind of
the way.
what I want.
You know what? I
And
noticed
they
that
get
as
short.
well. I feel left out. I didn't get a haircut this
You want
week.
to get a haircut right now? Want me to cut your hair?
No,
We
On
can
the
do it.
podcast?
I don't want you that close to my head ever.
Oh,
We'll just give you the,
You
the
know.
asymmetrical.
Should
we'll
I
just
do
shave
what
one
you guys
side.
did? Just
Mhm.
shave the sides and then keep it long on top?
Yeah, I think you look really good. I think you look really good.
Oh, thank you.
And mohawk it.
Mohawk it,
Oh.
Mohawk Monica.
Holla.
Monica Hawk.
Monica,
Mohawk.
Mohanica.
It took me 3 times.
Mohanica.
Mahogany.
Mahogany.
Let's just keep with
Mahogany-
and
mahogany
What
heaven.
else do you guys want to talk about?
It took me 3 times though, Mike, to get this haircut.
To get that haircut right?
Really?
To get it right.
Where did
Yes.
you go
Wow.
to get it done?
First time I don't remember, but they didn't do it the way I wanted them
What?
to.
You just get
I
drunk
think it was
and
someplace
be
in
like,
the valley.
somebody cut my
Yeah.
hair.
Well, I constantly change up barbers and salons because
I see.
if you fail me on the first try, then
Then you give up.
don't get my business
Got
again.
it, real one
Dude, I'm
shot.
not-
Yeah, one
kinda-
shot.
kinda
This
guy.
was Supercuts.
It's your moment.
This was
Fuck it up.
this was Supercuts, and I don't think it was that bad. And then when she put up the mirror to the back of my head, it looked way wonky, like it was not square. But I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Like I don't
Yeah,
give.
well,
It's a $20 haircut.
Did
Hate
you
to say it,
cry?
but serves you
I
right.
didn't cry.
Serves you
It
right for
did
walking into Supercuts.
Feel like she was shearing me like a sheep. When she,
What did she look like and how old was she?
she was probably in her mid-30s, and she was a short Russian lady.
Yep. Sounds like
She
the
was
personnel that I expect
"Hello,
to be working at Supercuts.
Would you like how short on sides? Yeah. That's what it sounded like.
That's funny. But this is like the first time you've had. This is a big deal. You
This
guys. I know
hair,
this
my hair,
seems
this hair,
arbitrary.
my hair has not been this short for 10 years, like almost 10 years.
Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's and then
I guess now that I think about it, the only time I've seen you with this short of hair has only been in old Facebook pictures.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
I,
I like it.
It is pretty
I
nuts,
can't
I
stop
guess.
rubbing the back of it because it feels
Mhm.
weird, which is nice though. It feels
Yeah,
kinda nice.
it's fun to rub
I
your
don't
hair.
know how I feel. I had this big fear that my hair was thinning, and I feel a lot better now getting a short haircut. I think I'm okay. You know, I was freaking out about.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I have a
Probably
fear.
because it was just so long, though.
Yeah.
Right?
and it made me scared. I just want
never
to talk
felt
about
it
our
that
feelings
way.
and thoughts before we get into
About
the plug
ha-
section
about
of the
hair?
podcast about hair.
You-
I will
It's about
say
hair?
shout out to Floyd's Barbershop.
Floyd's Barber.
Because
Oh,
that's where I
really?
got it done. Yeah.
Where's that at?
And they
It's
were
a nice
only-
looking place.
They're only $26 or $27. So
Really?
you shelled out $7 more bucks.
I will totally go there next time.
Yeah,
you
do it.
sold me on it.
It was the one on Cahuenga right here in
Is it like
Hollywood
a
too.
chain?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's-
we walked by it when we walked to get chicken.
It is a chain.
Really?
It's kind of like the Rudies of
Yeah.
I would say.
That's actually what it reminds me of, like the building itself.
Absolutely.
reminds me
That's good. Thank you,
There
Phil.
you
Trying to get that barber plug.
I was just wondering,
Yeah.
Mike, if you cry
Those hair
when
plugs?
they cut your hair, because a lot of girls, when you have really long hair and then you cut it short, it throws you off so
I
much
didn't
and you
cry
get upset.
the whole time. I was just like, please don't let this be a mistake.
And bite.
Is it like clipping a kitten's whiskers?
Yeah, maybe.
That's how much
You
it's
kind of walk
messed up.
sideways
Yeah.
for a little bit.
You don't clip
And
kittens'
by
whiskers, do you?
No.
women, I mean
Yeah.
little
Didn't
girls.
you say? Sorry, I was started by whiskers. What did you say, Monica?
No, you're a little girl, is what I said.
I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean
Mhm.
that's given.
So, Little girls cry when you cut their hair.
Mhm.
So
I did
just
not
was wondering-
cry though.
I'm kidding.
I felt fine. I'll be okay.
Good. But at first, you didn't want people to take pictures of you.
I didn't because I didn't know how I felt about it, and then I think I'm like,
what
well,
if
whatever.
you didn't like it? Were you just going to be like, "Don't take my picture for
I
a
was gonna
month
wear
while it
hats.
goes back
Let's
out"?
just wear hats for like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
And then a shirt that says no pictures, please.
Yeah. Actually famous. It's like, oh, hey guys, don't forget you can rate and review and subscribe to the show on iTunes. That's
Yeah.
important. Helps us a lot. We got a new review. Makes me feel good.
Mhm.
Someone watching it in the cubicle. That feels nice.
Yeah, you
Hawks
should
for
turn
life.
it up.
Turn it up.
Make everybody else listen to it too.
Yeah. You want me to pull it up right now?
No, what are you talking about?
I'm so
saying
confused.
in the cubicle. The review said she was listening to it, and we're assuming it's a girl. Was listening to it in the cubicle, and she laughs out loud. That's what.
She lols.
So everybody's like, "What are you listening to?"
And then
I'm
turn it
saying,
up.
play it out loud.
Yeah.
You know, let
Pull out
everybody
those
get on that.
headphones.
Say
Yeah,
it loud.
until-
Everyone loves bad words, even at work. No
Until
Yeah.
you say fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck
you're
yeah.
Fired.
So yeah.
And they're like, what
Fuck
the hell
yeah.
are you listening to?
Just like the beginning of a lot of really good songs, they're like, "Turn that shit up," right?
Yeah,
In the beginning,
right.
and then you're like, "All right, fine," and then you do it. So that's what I'm saying. In your cubicle, turn it up, girl.
Yeah, girl.
And then they'll
Right now.
become turned up.
Yeah. And then that whole
Turn
word,
up. Turned up.
Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Me and Karen tried to make up as many as we
Steven
That's
Turnberg.
ridiculous.
That makes no.
could. No,
that's
please
not
stop. Turnberg.
good.
Turdberg.
What shows you got, Monica?
When this comes out. So tonight, I'm at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank at 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, Thursday, March 3rd, I am at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco.
Sandman
Yes.
Dingus.
I might spend some more time up there in Sacramento. I'm not sure yet. And then March 12th, I'm at the Improv Space by UCLA at 6 p.m. And then March 16th, I'm at the Hollywood Laugh Factory at 8 p.m.
Perfect.
Yay! I am in San Diego tomorrow at Red's Saloon.
That would be today.
That's
'cause I'm
today. That's
listening to
today.
it.
The day you're listening to it, March 2nd. And then I'm at Flappers on March 9th.
Nice.
There
My
you go.
plugs.
Well, also, Mike and I have been talking about we're gonna make some new shirts with the Hug Life, like a different logo, but it's gonna say
yeah.
Hug Life. So we still have some You're Great shirts left, and if you want them, you can buy them online. So that's just a reminder because once we're out of these, we're out. And I sold some in Tucson. People bought them in Tucson. I'm gonna bring them with me this week. So if they're out, they're out. So you can get them online. We got blue and we got the black ones with Star Wars writing. It says You're Great.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome. $20. Anyways,
Mhm.
just an update on the shirts.
I want one.
You want
Mm-hmm.
one? Okay.
How do you buy a shirt online?
How do I
There's
get
a
the one
link.
that I
It's
want?
through Square. It's just /Monica Nevi, but we'll post the link. I'll put it on the Facebook page that you can like.
Yeah.
I'll tweet it, and if Mike will do it, then we can put a link with
I can
the
put it on the Hug Life page.
yeah
HugLifePodcast.com.
HugLifePodcast.com.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna change Phil's profile
your
picture to it, and yeah,
And we're going to
it'll be
make
great.
all of Phil's websites have the link on it. And then we're going to take control of Phil's websites and get all his passwords and then change them.
Yes. So happy that I'm here.
We're going to steal Phil's
That's
identity.
why, yeah. That's why we're actually.
We have you
When
on
do
the
you start
podcast.
cutting my skin?
It's not it's just emotional turmoil.
Oh,
That's what we
got
put
you.
through. Emotional turmoil.
It's like the movie Hackers.
There you
Don't forget,
go.
we're also on Stitcher, and we are on Racketeer Radio Thursdays at 7. At least I think that's still a thing. I don't know. I've never listened to it, but we're on it. and,
Way to sell it. Good job.
and then you can email us at huglifepodcast@gmail.com.
Oh,
And our Amazon banner. You
yes.
can buy shit on Amazon. That's how they want us to plug this, I'm sure. You click the Amazon
You
banner
can
link.
buy shit on
Go
Amazon.
to huglifepodcast.com, click the Amazon banner at the top, and then shop like you normally would, and we get some money kicked back. And it's super helpful because it helps me pay for the hosting for the podcast. So you can that's the way you support the podcast, is by buying stuff on Amazon like you normally would. Just
Cool.
on this website.
Good.
And people do that because
because
They're great.
They're great. Phil gets it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah, girl. I like sitting on this couch.
No one can see how creepy you're looking at him
I
right
love
now.
sitting on
I
the
just want you to
couch.
know that we are on a podcast. Cool. Just making sure.
No one's
That's
supposed
just
to.
for
They're
us.
feeling very comfortable on the other side of this, but it's the opposite of how it feels.
We're very comfortable
Right.
with our bodies.
And by we, it's just Mike. He's very comfortable with your body.
I'm
Actually,
very
Yeah.
That's
comfortable with
what
your
it was.
body, Philip.
I'm just glad we don't have to make eye contact on a
That's
podcast.
good, yeah,
What are you
there
talking
go. He is staring at the side of your head, though. All
man.
right. Should we do that's positive spin?
Positive spin.
Yes. Ready?
You ready? 3, 2, 1. Magic. We do a positive spin. Where we
We're gonna
positive
ask the
spin.
expert a little
I
bit
love
here.
magic.
I know you do. Some people, I think, don't believe in magic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking like fairy dust type shit because we all know that's real.
Yep.
So,
Fuck that.
but I'm talking like performance art. Would you call it a performance art? Magic? Like being
Sure.
a magician.
Because
Yeah.
you're a magician.
Okay. I think a lot of people are. It's more of a naysayer, or they're like, "Oh, I can figure out how you did that," kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Is that how you think adults, especially, approach?
Not a lot of
magic?
people go into watching something when they know that it's going to be a magic trick, thinking, man, this is going to amaze me, and I'm just going to walk away and go, that was cool. That pretty much has never happened ever.
It's like those guys that go to comedy shows and are like, I'm funnier than that guy. Like, I feel like that's how
Yeah.
every adult feels about magic, and I don't think that's fair.
I love magic.
Some people, I think, begin the interaction with going, oh shit, you can do magic? That sounds awesome. And then they quickly realize if you are doing good magic, they realize that you're not doing something that they've seen 1,000 times. And then you can just slowly see them becoming more and more frustrated with what you're doing because they don't know how
There's-
you're doing it or what you
There's a few
did.
things that I've seen you do where I'm like, I have no idea how you did that. But we
Like
are
when he
so
chopped it in
lucky. We are so lucky as friends that when we are just even at dinner, we get to see magic tricks unsolicited.
Just sugar packets
World
flying everywhere.
sugar turned into Splenda. I don't know. It's
It sounds so
cool.
genuine too.
well, most people don't get to sit at dinner and watch their friends put straws in their nose or whatever.
That's true.
My favorite part of magic, and I really have come to appreciate it more being around you, is the noises that you make when you do it. When you're like, oh. That's what you're like, ooh.
The noises that I wish the audience was actually making. As
Yeah,
I'm
you're like,
doing
you're not
it.
going to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, I think so.
You want them to make?
Yeah, because then I'm still hearing it.
It does make me stop. Like if you just started doing like the straw thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, oh, Phil's doing the straw thing again. But when you go like, oh, then I'm like, okay, we have to watch him because he's making noise, you know. And it sells it a little bit more because you're like, well, maybe it does hurt. I don't know.
I think I've been trying to figure out how to do magic more spur of the moment versus what Mike will probably call rape magic.
Yeah, when you're
When you just
magic.
attack me with magic.
Yeah.
Remember, it was I think you and Kane or somebody at my house, and you guys were just having a normal conversation, and I decided it was time for you to watch me do magic, and so I was just going, hey, until they finally stopped talking. And, we have to watch Phil do magic now because you can't do magic
If
if nobody's watching
right.
me do
Is it
magic.
magic if no one sees it?
Yeah, well, it's just
The
loneliness.
woman sawed in half in the woods and no one's there to see it. Did it really happen?
Let's-
Is that what we're talking about?
See,
You're not
like,
guilty.
So let's say, because you're in a relationship now. Before though, when
Correct.
maybe you were going on dates, or maybe when you and your girlfriend first met,
Mhm.
were you
Magic.
doing magic during the? Did you show them things like on first dates or the first
I
few
mean,
times?
I don't know
you knew
about
them?
first dates, but eventually
You were
the
like,
magic
"Oh,
the magic
flower,"
comes
like
out,
that
you
kind of
know.
thing?
Did you make
Little
girls'
magic.
clothes
Yeah.
disappear, player? Yeah.
I try to do it in a way like,
Got this weird trick where they put more clothes on. It doesn't really make sense.
and then they disappear.
And then they
Of
disappear.
course. Like, for instance, generally when you go out on dates, there's a lot of drinking involved.
Okay.
And the drunker I tend to get, the more likely I am to do magic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the best drunk tendency ever. Like some people are like, "Oh, I get drunk and I drive." Some people are like, "I do an accent for some reason," and you're like, "I do magic."
Because I want everybody's attention when I'm drunk. Obviously, like you want to be the center of attention, but it's my way to do it the most, I guess, endearingly or like.
Phil got drunk last night and made us watch him put on a straitjacket and take it off.
That would be awesome. Same with juggling too, but juggling's a little bit, I guess, harder to do impromptu to where everybody will be like, "Oh, that was cool."
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone's like, "Put my fucking keys down. What are you doing?"
If I'm at like a house party, if I'm in your house and I'm drunk and either somebody brings up that I do magic or juggle, there's a very high chance I'll stumble into your kitchen and find the sharpest like butcher knives that you have, and then just casually walk out and not draw any attention to the fact that I have your butcher knives in my hand, and then I'll go, "Hey guys, watch," and then I'll just start juggling your butcher knives, and that normally gets a pretty good reaction.
Yeah.
And like a fear / excitement.
Pretty impressive.
But, you can't really do that in like a bar.
Have you ever hurt yourself doing that?
No, I've just like fucked people's floors up.
Hey guys, watch this. And then all the knives are just sticking out of the floor.
One time when I was younger, I was doing it at a friend's barbecue. And their mom, they were just showing us their brand new hot tub. And like they had like, the hot tub cover on the hot tub. And I was like juggling knives. And then I messed up and I was standing too close to the hot tub. And the knife just ripped a huge tear in the new hot tub cover. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And the mom was just like, "Well,
did she know
I guess
you
there's
before
nothing
that?
we can do." Yeah, she did.
That's okay. So she
It was it
saw
didn't
it coming.
it wasn't so bad, but still you still feel like shit.
Like, can you have your friend Phil not come over and juggle knives all the damn time?
Maybe like, "That's fine. You just lost your hot tub privileges."
Exactly. Well, I'll just mow your lawn while you take your
That's
hot tub.
hilarious. So you just break stuff. You didn't ever hurt yourself.
Not really. I mean, hurting yourself to me is like, it's got to be really bad, like stitches bad.
Oh, right, okay.
I could nick myself and bleed a little bit, but to me that's not like...
Really?
That's not like, "Oh, he just hurt himself." Like, not everybody in the room is going to go, "Wow, like his fingertip has a dot of blood on it." Man, you're crazy.
So
like,
you practice to do that? You never hurt yourself?
well, machetes, like, they have juggling machetes, right?
I didn't know that, but okay.
Okay.
I'll go
so
with you on this.
the juggling factories or whatever you want to call them, they make juggling props, right? There's companies that are specifically in business to make juggling
Can I
props.
guess the name
They
of
can
these
exist.
companies?
Yes.
Juggle Co?
Nope.
Damn it.
Juggle Co. Jugs.
Wow. All those guesses were
Yeah.
the
Juggle Corp?
No.
Juggle Enterprises.
So there's Dubay
Ooh.
is one of the companies. There's Renegade Juggling.
This
I only
podcast
go-
is brought to you by Renegade
Are
Juggling.
people sponsored by these companies?
Yeah, do they sponsor?
I
like,
want you to come out in a
clowns?
jumpsuit that says Renegade Juggling one day. Just juggling
Possibly.
knives.
I mean, there's not. I mean, juggling itself isn't really like a huge competitive sport.
It
So
should be.
I don't think there'll be a lot of people represented by them. But there are competitions of like, I guess, like the best juggler, where people do compete in that sense. And if
So you think
there
you can
was a
juggle.
sponsorship, that's probably where it would be.
That's good.
The best juggler is probably Jason Garfield.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like no.
You ever heard of him?
No.
Oh,
You want to tell me about
people
Jason
said, "Oh
Garfield?
yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe there was a
We
Tell
just
me
chance."
wanted
about
to go
Jason
with it.
Garfield. I didn't know that
But
was the best
that's- I
juggler in
mean-
the world.
He's bald-headed and very strong looking,
We should
and he can juggle
try and
like
get him on the podcast.
11 things
Really?
at once.
That's
yeah.
crazy. I bet
I
you
mean,
there's
at least flash them.
video or something. That's impressive. I know there's like a national championship or whatever, like
Oh, shit.
world championships for like baton twirling and stuff. So I always feel like there's probably
Yeah.
a world champion. Like there's a world
Absolutely.
championships for the best beards. Like,
Dude.
you know, I'm sure everything has.
And for magic too.
He's the
Really?
founder of the World Juggling Federation.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
right.
thing.
Yeah, and actually, he spent time in Seattle too
Really?
when he was younger. And when I was up in Seattle this last couple weeks ago, I was at an event, and this guy was there that was juggling, had juggling props, like this old man, like this old Bilbo Baggins type of man.
This old hobbit.
Who was juggling, and I started juggling with him. And Morgan Preston, who is a juggler and comic in Seattle, also was there. So we were all juggling together. And then this man started telling me all these crazy stories about all the jugglers of the past that he's known and worked with, which was a very impressive list. And Jason Garfield was his old like juggling partner, I guess.
Juggling sensei.
wow.
When Jason Garfield was like maybe a teenager, and this guy was, in his upper 20s.
So
So
he was kind of Jason Garfield's mentor, and there you are
sort of.
juggling with
and
him.
I'm just like hanging out with
That's
this guy.
pretty cool.
And then the
Juggle sensei.
guy was not shy about letting you know that he was a legend in the world of
yeah.
juggling.
I think when you're old, you have to say that.
yeah.
Because they all do.
It was like kind of, still for anybody to call themselves a legitimate legend
Yeah.
is just kind of like,
I'm always a
cool.
little bit
That's awesome.
borderline when anybody says they're a legend or I'm famous or something
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. Like, I think other people are supposed to know that, not you.
Right.
Tell them that. Well, I'm famous. Are
Guys,
you?
I'm
I don't know who you are.
a legend in the chicken eating scene. Chicken wing eating scene.
Chicken eating.
Well, that's
scene.
true though.
I go with you to get wings, and no one knows who the fuck you are. Emily remembers me and not you.
Why
if
does she
I-
remember me?
I don't know.
Do you think that she thinks we're dating and she's like, why the hell is Monica with this dude?
So she's trying to steal me from you or
Yeah.
something?
Oh,
I don't know. I think that the way that you and Mitch talk to her feels forced. I'm gonna be honest.
is that Big Wings, by the way? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
we're just talking about the waitress at Big
Okay.
Wings.
What do you mean it feels forced?
I feel like it makes her uncomfortable when I'm just like, hey girl, I'm here again. It's familiar
She was
face. How you
dropping
doing?
all sorts of stuff yesterday. Like, what was it? She said stuff like where people say a word like happy or like, what did she say?
Sorry, you're juggling. Legend is
Sorry.
not as interesting as
Sorry,
chicken wings.
you go back. I can't
No.
The
remember
chicken
it.
wing waitress.
While you're remembering it, I will say though, it's on the same point. Everybody he named, like I said, I know that
Oh, really?
you could consider famous in the world of juggling.
Okay.
But then again, his name was the one that you're like, I don't know if I know your name, but yeah, he's the one calling himself a legend.
Okay, so
it's kind
maybe-
of funny.
Maybe he. Well,
But it's kind of like that. The guy, like I don't know, maybe Anvil, wasn't that the rock band that like had started a lot of like metal and hard rock? There's that big documentary on them.
Mhm.
Or like those people like Forrest Gump, I guess. Like he'd be the Forrest Gump of juggling. He was always there for every famous
Oh,
legend of
yeah.
juggling.
it's like what?
And we should know him, but yeah, he's the one calling himself a legend.
Right.
at
So
the end
I
of the
think
day.
there's people, but I don't know if they would call themselves a legend. Like in comedy, like someone like Morton Saul, who's like super old, and he's the
Right.
reason, Woody Allen and
Right.
Chris Rock started doing stand up. But you meet him and you're like, who's this old fucking guy? You know what I mean? But he really is like a legend.
Right.
He won't tell you that, but he is.
Exactly.
So that's
That
the
is the
difference, though.
difference,
Is
yeah.
He wouldn't say it.
Correct.
You know? I don't know.
But sure, yeah, I'm sure you could meet that guy. Many people of today could meet that guy and go, yeah, but
Yeah,
who
we
the
don't know who he
fuck
is.
are you? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, juggling. No,
Yep.
You got
So-
some magic to juggling.
I
but
know, I'm sorry.
But you do both.
But you're a man of
Yes.
many trades.
And
a
so-
jack of trades.
I've seen you juggle on stage before when you're doing comedy, like,
Yeah.
and I think it's really funny.
Thanks.
Do you do? I haven't really seen you do a lot of like magic stuff on stage,
Yeah.
and I know you were talking about doing more of it, but
I just did one on Tyler's Dope Show in
Oh, really?
Seattle.
where was it on the second half or the first?
Second half,
Really?
for sure. I
That's
only did juggling and magic on the
When
second
you're
half of the
high?
show.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because I was
You
like,
guys don't know that show. You do a set sober, and then you go and smoke weed, and you come back and do another set high. So
and I get kind of anxious. I don't smoke much weed anymore because I've had anxiety attacks in the past, and so it's not like my go-to drug of choice anymore. And I was like, well, if I get really anxious and like flipping out, like what do I do? Like, what do I go to? I'm like,
Just
well, let's
juggle.
go to what I know.
okay,
the best,
yeah,
which
that's
is
what they
juggling
say,
and magic,
Do
right?
what you know.
So I was like, I'll still do my jokes with the juggling, which is stuff that I've done before. And then I want to do this magic trick, and I'll explain it the way I guess the spectator would see it. So I wanted to finish off with something really cool. So I had it was on the stool. There was a towel on the stool and like a Mountain Dew bottle. And
Was it full or empty?
it was empty.
Oh, okay.
And I took the Mountain Dew bottle.
But we're sponsored by Mountain Dew, so we had to say that.
Yeah.
Had to say the name.
And I
Was
put it
Code
on
Red or
the
orange or light?
Oh my god, let him fucking
OG, made with real sugar.
DMD.
The throwback. And so it was on the put on the stool. I take the towel, put it over. I had a hammer. I smashed the glass inside the towel so it wouldn't go everywhere. Opened up the towel, took some of the glass and said, because when you get high, your senses are heightened, and I should be able to tell whether or not the glass is in like the appropriate area of my mouth to be able to do this. So let's see if it works. And so I grabbed some of the glass, I put it in my mouth, and I start chewing the glass up, and then I take some more, I start chewing more of the glass, and from the spectator's view, unbeknownst to me, all of a sudden, like my mouth starts turning really, really red, like bloody. And I'm like, all right, like, it's pretty good. Like, I'm chewing glass. You guys, like, sweet, right? Awesome. Oh, let's do some more. Like, I'm chewing glass. This is great. This is going so well. And I'm like, all right, well, thank you guys. That's my time. And, like, my mouth just has blood everywhere. And then Tyler comes back up on stage, and I grab all my stuff. And as I leave the stage, I just start going, and I leave the stage that way.
That's hilarious. So I'm hoping there's people in the audience that are like, some dude got high and just ate glass. Like, that's it. And it went terribly. That's hilarious.
The trick is you just pretend to be eating glass and your mouth is bleeding. Or you are actually mouth bleeding.
Well,
he's magic.
You have to come see the show and
Yeah.
see me do it on stage sometime.
I can't handle
You figured it out for yourself.
Yeah, I am kind of one of those people. Like, I like to watch it and be like, I have no idea. Like, I like that. But sometimes if I'm like, okay, I can figure it out, then I am a little bit disappointed. Like, I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Like the
it's
sugar packet thing, but you fucked that up. You dropped him.
Did I?
Yeah, it was when we were at Salsa and Beer, and you were like, I was going to do this, but they had these packets. And then you just dropped them all out of your hands, and I was like,
the effect wasn't as strong because it didn't have the appropriate color.
It did make me laugh, though, because we had like a 20-minute conversation where you weren't really paying attention because you were like trying to set it up, and it just...
Well, but did you know I was setting it up at the time?
I didn't
Exactly.
until you accidentally dropped them.
Have you ever done magic with an assistant?
Oh.
Like, did you ever have like a
Mike, are you applying right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Would you let
cocktail
Phil saw you in
dresses.
half
Saw me in half, girl?
In the woods?
In the woods.
Yes.
emotionally?
And the next trick, I will emotionally saw this man in half. You're fat. You're fat. And I just start crying. It's such a good trick. Oh, God.
How did he do that? No, have you... I've only ever seen you do magic around adults. Have you ever done magic around kids?
That's the only way I did magic for like 10 years.
Do they like lose their minds compared to adults?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's
afraid of you at all?
gratifying. No. I've never had children
They're
be
not
afraid
like,
of me.
he's a sorcerer.
In fact, I would refuse.
Yes, wizard.
So, like, growing up, I started doing the magic and juggling when I was like 12 or 13 years old, in front of audiences, which were first just kids, but also, parents watch the show too. They're fucking paying for it, so
Right.
a lot of them are like, let's see the quality
Look at you,
of
this
what I'm paying.
13-year-old hustle. Look at this.
Yeah, I wish I still had that hustle at times. Well, especially for alpha.
Did you make money?
Now I'm like, fuck. Why am I not doing children's birthday parties to make some of that side Skrilla?
You make money doing it?
Oh yeah, pretty decent money towards the end, but it was just it ended up being soul crushing.
Why?
I just didn't like
Did they
entertaining
heckle you? Were the
children
kids mean?
anymore. No, it's not like it's a glorified babysitter, but at times it really starts to feel like
parents are just like, here, watch this, and
magician.
we're gonna go
Yeah.
shoot up in the kitchen or whatever
exactly.
they're doing.
And then especially like after the show gets over, if you, so I also do balloon artistry too.
Dude,
What I call it.
you are
balloon
a man
artistry,
of
like a
many
sandwich
trades.
artist,
What's that?
like a sandwich artist, but like a
Yeah,
balloon
well,
artist.
I've done that too.
Okay.
That's my favorite kind of artist is a sandwich artist.
I mean,
I
you're
yeah,
expressing
I
yourself through sandwiches.
probably can't twist as many balloons as I used to.
Is that what they call it?
Balloon twisting, but I still can. I still can twist balloons, and we offered that as like an additional part of the show. So we would do like a 40-minute show, 45-minute show, and then we'd do like 15 to 20 minutes of, twisting balloons, and like all the kids would line up and we would twist balloons, and then, if you can't fucking make all the balloons by the time the last kid gets in line, other fucking little kids are going to pop their shit, and then they're going to want a replacement balloon.
So they just keep
So
going.
it's like a perpetual
revolving
line
door
of
of
just
shitty
making more balloons.
making.
Because you can't leave with one little shit starting to cry
Yeah.
because his sword broke, and now you got to make another sword. Well, he was probably trying to use it as one.
Did you make him a dildo? Yeah. You're like, and this is for you, Mom. Here you go.
Can I just get a balloon blown up?
Dirty balloon animals? That's got to be a thing,
is that a
right?
thing?
It is. I've tried to think about doing that at like bars and restaurants, but
That's a
there's not a lot of books people have published about
Naughty
how to
balloon
twist
animal.
it into naughty shapes.
naughty shape.
It'd probably
naughty
be
balloons.
a great book to make. In fact, I
Yeah,
should
naughty
probably make
balloon
that.
artist. That'd be
I should probably make that book.
You should.
Sell it in-
I understand. I would. Well, yeah. I worked with kids forever, so I understand the frustration of being around them so much. So
I am a child, so I
It's fun though.
understand.
I mean,
yeah, still understand.
I
the
won't lie. It's
frustration.
fun. It's fun when little kids walk up afterwards and want your autograph and stuff like that, and you're like, well, like somebody wants it. Like, that's cool,
Right.
But
Somebody wants
but it does. I don't know. But then you start to see through that and go, is this my life?
Right.
I'm just gonna sign, autographs for some kid that in 3 years is gonna find it on his floor and go, what the fuck is this
What the
piece
fuck
of
is
shit? And throw it away. On the flip side, the times it does feel cool is like, I got inspired when I was like 10 or 11 or whatever, watching
Right.
juggling, and
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to learn, and then it led to everything that's happened to me now.
So had you had kids that were like, I want to be a magician too? Kind
Yeah,
of
that
thing?
wanted to learn how to juggle or do
Yeah.
magic, and then we sold things to them to let them
And then we
learn
took their
how.
money.
Yeah.
So it really
So
made me feel
here's-
good.
I don't want to get too inside baseball, but how much money would you charge a family to do a 45-minute show at a birthday party?
Generally, because it was me and a buddy, we would generally, I think for a while, charge like $150, but then we started charging like $200,
I see.
so we could each make a bill off of the show.
And they pay that? Parents are just like, hell yeah, player.
Absolutely. In fact, I still think, especially for two people coming to your house to do a children's birthday party, $200 is like
Low
still
end.
really, really reasonable.
I think
$300,
that
I think,
too.
is generally
Yeah, we
the price point for a
Dude.
clown, for like a legitimate person that's going to do a production, like a show for your kids and family. Really, $300 is probably like the going
Dude,
rate.
you
Yeah.
teach me some magic, and we tear this town apart, okay? On the birthday party circuit.
Dude, I seriously
There's
am like,
probably-
why aren't
parents
I
here
doing
would
it?
probably pay
Oh,
a fuck ton more.
Fuck yeah,
'cause they're
especially
dumb.
in like all of West LA.
Why aren't you doing it?
Here.
Why aren't you
Go
doing
across
it
the
right
street.
now?
Because I don't want to be that.
We're gonna turn
I'm
off
gonna
the
fight
podcast.
that.
You're gonna go
I'm
be a
gonna fight
magician.
my true
Actually, an
destiny for as long as I
intervention.
can.
a magician.
I know.
Be a magician.
Be a
I'm going to turn this off so Phil can be a
he
magician.
he just
Thank you
gives
guys
you
for
reasons, and
listening.
you're like, no, be a magician. Do magic.
Magician.
Do magic now.
This is an intervention. A magic
No,
intervention.
yeah, it wasn't.
Oh god.
It wasn't
Terrible.
good. Don't.
Monica knows every time I go with this, she does not like it.
It's hard to have a conversation with him because he just takes the words you just said and makes them one word, and you're like, you didn't even hear what I just asked you, did you? Kind of like when you just start doing magic tricks instead of answering questions. Like
it's like
it's a similar thing. You guys know.
it's like I'm not listening or listening.
Jesus.
I enjoy this so much.
Dusty wind going down the road.
Hey, you know what? I just want to make you feel good. I'm gonna do these
I
I
bad jokes
appreciate
for
it.
you,
I
buddy.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Out of your
That's what it must feel like for my
butthole.
guests when I
dude, you've done a lot of weird
Co-host.
shit on your podcast, and like as far as like haunted places go too.
yeah.
Would you do magic to kill time for Jay and them? Would you do?
Did you do magic for the ghosts?
Yeah, ghost magic.
No, I've never done magic for ghosts. In fact,
Do you
I've
think
probably
what
done
would've-
magic for
would've
ghosts a
gone
lot.
differently?
Monica, that's called practice.
Yeah,
Magic for
exactly.
ghosts, it's called
Exactly.
practice.
Yeah.
How much do
Shouldn't
you
they be
have to?
doing it all the time?
I used to practice a lot. I'll still play around with it here and there, but the only tricks I do so often that I guess it's hard for me to get rusty at them.
So
Got
what
it,
would you?
got it.
At a kid's birthday party, what's your big finale? Like, what do you end on? Like, what trick? No, obviously, you don't have to explain
Dildo
it. But what do
balloons.
you do? Like, what kind of trick? What
Would you say dildos?
Is it dildo?
dildo balloons?
I think I used to like to end, which wasn't like a trick in and of itself, but I would end by like choking and being like, for whatever reason, I start like I can't talk anymore, and then I'm like, and then, like pointing to my mouth, and then I'm like, and then like a little like piece of like colored paper is in my mouth, and I'm like, what is this? And I start pulling at it, and it's like a streamer, and I just start like pulling for like, a minute and a half,
that
like a big long
yeah.
colorful
Dude.
streamer, and then I like throw it in the air, and I'm like, well, it's the show. Thank you, everybody.
You do that voice the whole time?
No, I don't do that voice at all.
Oh, you should.
Did you ever do clown stuff?
So
Isn't that?
that's what I was gonna. I think I was going that way because you said, were kids ever afraid of me?
Mm-hmm.
So we started out as clowns, and actually the first like probably, I don't know, 20 shows or whatever we did were all in like full clown costumes. It wasn't full white face, but we would do like definitely like
Just funny to hear
White face. Yeah. Full white face.
that's what clown's called, white face. We would do like just like blue triangles on the cheeks, and we
Must be
did
like
have
your
a
classic clown.
we did have a nice rubber. We got nice rubber noses that you have to like legitimately glue onto your nose.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought we were just cutting racquetballs.
Yeah, no, this was
No.
legit stuff. Like
Got it.
you pick out, like it's like
then after
it's
you're
like
done,
getting
you
a
can use it on
wand.
the bottom of your
It's
walker.
like getting a
it's like getting a wand if you're Harry Potter. Like you go to the costume shop and they have an assortment of all
Like different kinds of
shapes and
noses?
sizes that all made out of like nice quality foam. And you try them on until you like the way it fits and the way you like the way you look in the mirror, and then and you buy that
You're like,
that
yeah,
And
nose.
then you're the
looks good.
chosen one. And
This-
that's how
wow.
you become the chosen one.
I'm
Yeah.
learning so many things.
It was
right now.
it's a fun day.
I find this shit so
Getting your nose.
interesting. Like magic and like circus showbiz.
yeah.
Because there's like a scary thing to it too. Like a
That's
scary.
different. Though. That would be like what about like rodeo clowns? That's
Oh,
different.
That's different. That's a
right?
whole different
You're
animal.
not
right?
doing magic.
Yeah.
They're just getting hit by
the
bulls.
bulls.
They're just
They're just getting demolished.
They're
Getting
taking the
hit by
hit
bulls.
for the actual person
Yeah.
that we care about, which is the
I've
guy writing
seen-
it. We don't want him
yeah.
to die.
I've
Who gives a
seen
fuck about
way
the
more
the
rodeo
clown?
clowns than anything else. We used to go to the rodeo a lot.
Really?
My mom's from Idaho.
I feel like there's a documentary about
Japan.
rodeo clowns.
Probably.
There's got to be. If there's
Have
not,
you-
That'd be
we should
interesting.
immediately
I
make
would
one.
totally watch that.
That when you show baskets,
Oh,
I want to see it. I
I
haven't
want to
had
see
time
it,
for
and
it.
I've heard from so many people that it's like really good.
I've heard it's really good as well.
Is that what he is?
But-
He is like a professional clown, like went to clown school in Europe
Mhm.
and like takes it very seriously. And then for money, he becomes a rodeo clown. I think that's the basic
Mm.
Oh,
plot.
really?
of
Louis
it, yeah.
Anderson plays his mom.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard
Louis
it's-
Anderson
And
plays
yeah,
his mom.
and
I've heard
apparently
it's
it's like
really-
amazing.
I've heard
so.
it's a really good show, but it's
Them,
like
you should see the picture of him because he does look like an older fat mom. Like it's
oh, that's
great.
fantastic.
Anyways, so you haven't seen it. I want to see it.
And
Anyways.
and after a while, we didn't. I hated putting the costume on. Absolutely hated it. And so what I would do is I would just basically wear like a shirt like what I'm wearing now, which is just a
Just like a
checkered.
button-up
That is
I pulled it
hilarious.
up.
jacket. Yeah, right? Doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway.
That is very funny. Louis Anderson as a mom is funny. But it's great, mom.
Yeah, it's a great mom look.
So a shirt like this with like a kind of a funky tie and just shorts with probably some Vans that I'm wearing now, and then wearing like a fedora on top.
Okay. Yeah. I
It's just
see
kind of
what
a
you're-
fun, eclectic thing. But then I would still keep the nose on,
Oh, you would have the
but
nose.
nothing else on the face.
Well, because
just the
your nose is really. So if it is like your wand,
a
it
kid
really is
sees
kind
it,
of your essence.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
see
like.
that. Oh, he's still fun in the
He's a
clown. And then we dropped the noses, and it was just that garb. And it didn't matter if you walk into somebody's house and you have a
Shorts and a tie. They're
suitcase.
like, look at this clown.
You show up with a suitcase in your hand. You have the hat and a tie,
Zany tie.
Mm-hmm.
and you're all like, "Hey, like like not that corny, but
Robbie
you're
Z.
like, but you go, hey guys, like, how you doing? Oh yeah, we're here to do some magic. It's magic show time.
How do you get yourself in that mental state? Like, do you do coke outside, or like, what do you?
Normally, because it was luckily I had a person that had to suffer through all of this with me. Right, it was my
Right.
buddy Ryan from Puyallup.
So you would just like
was
hype each
childhood
other
friend
up
of
like
me.
football players, like running to each
You
other
know,
or
we would always just go, all right, dude, let's smile, let's get our smiles on, and let's do this, and we just give ourselves a couple fist bumps,
That's
and we
fun.
walk in.
Oh, that's
And then,
you
I
like-
like
and then
that.
As we're walking up to the door, you know, we already start smiling, and then as soon as they open the door, we're just like, "What's up? Hey, how's it going?" And now, actually, every time like I'm doing anything else where it requires me knocking on somebody's door before they answer, I always like
Put your smile on.
get a smile on. So when they open, I'm like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
That's great. That's awesome.
So can I ask you, where's your friend Ryan now? Is he still clowning? Like, whoa? Is he magic?
Like, well, he is a marketing director for a mortgage company.
So yes, still doing magic.
Yeah.
Still doing magic.
No.
Mortgage. Magic.
You know, we just kind of slowed down on it, kind of got out of it. Our last big thing was this team that was probably the next echelon from what we were in the Northwest. Their names were brothers from different mothers, and they were, you know, killing it in the scene.
Really, really running things up there. Hot
yeah.
dogs.
They would do
In
a
the
tour
magic scene.
in the winter months in the Midwest of like elementary
what just
schools and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and make like, I don't know, $30,000
Damn.
in like 3 months or something like that.
Fuck, we are doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. But, you know, you have to drive, and you're doing like 2 schools a day, and,
Right.
you know, it's a pretty big drive. I mean, you know, you can relate with comedy, and
Not financially.
but
Yeah.
but for it to be, you know, in the winter months and shit, and like an elementary school is not going to supply you a hotel room.
Right, yeah.
Or 2 drink minimum. So,
Right.
or, I mean, a 2 drink bar tab. But
right. They may. Could you have like?
so
pizza
a
at
lot of
lunch
times
or
they're
something?
sleeping in their cars, you know, and stuff like that
Right,
to actually be able to profit on it
Yeah.
all. Because if you think about driving that much, I mean, you guys
Right.
have a good idea about how much you spend in gas.
Mhm.
You're losing a lot of money
I think
to
the
gas.
hotels and stuff are,
And
are
hotels.
the worst. Yeah. Finding
Um,
places to stay. I don't know the circuit for magicians, but if you could stay with other
Circuit.
magicians, you know.
Yeah,
But like, because we
true.
stayed with a lot of comics, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that offer had gotten presented to us, and we were like, I don't even think I was 21 yet. I
Like,
think we were like
nah,
19, and 19 or 20, and our parents on both sides were like, yeah, I don't know, guys. It's gonna be really cold. You guys are gonna be driving through a lot of passes, and
yeah, that would be.
we're not too thrilled about you just going out on your own at like 19 or 20, trying to.
So your
Go do
parents
this, and I'm like,
ruined your
do
dreams, what
elementary
you're
school
telling me?
math.
You know, a few times in my life they have done that. I was supposed to
Wow.
be a football player too, but that never happened.
Thanks a
so
lot, parents, for ruining
Yeah.
Phil's
that.
dream.
Yeah, that. I mean, because otherwise
got that
you
football dream,
probably would have
I'm talking
been
about
in
all
the
the parents.
NFL.
I'm blaming all the parents
What?
right now.
Because otherwise you probably would have been in
Yeah,
the
would have
NFL.
definitely,
you know,
like Mike
so.
did. Mike was an NFL player for a brief short time.
Yeah, you know,
Good period.
Injuries, man. You can't do anything about it.
What'd you injure?
My clavicle.
Where's
Like,
your, where's your
what did you
clavicle?
like?
It's right here. It's right here. It's right here.
You say way up here?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I hurt.
Are you
I hurt
inside
my,
your shirt right there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. It's your
I hurt
bone
my
right there.
gastrocnemius, so I wasn't able to
Okay.
go. After that, my sternocleidomastoid started acting up.
Yeah,
so.
I like that you're just using your scientific names for your muscles. Appreciate it.
Well, we gotta. It's 42 minutes already.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
Let's-
You guys have asked me a lot of magic
we
jokes.
I
Yeah,
know
so
that was.
what-
I didn't realize I didn't know so much about
Yeah,
magic.
I'm happy to talk about
And
it.
so you're welcome, listeners, because
you're
you
a
didn't
magic
fucking know
person.
anything about magic.
Now let's talk about Magic the Gathering. Okay, here we go.
No, thank you.
What, those fucking losers?
Oh God, I can't stop crying.
Like I'm like I'm the best.
In my
Like
mind, that would
magic
be so
magician.
funny if like magicians got in a fight with people that played Magic the Gathering, like they hated each other.
Like,
and they
we're
would,
the better
brawl in the
magic.
street.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, Monica,
Whoa,
you want to top-
magicians in a fight, though. You know, oh, that's
so
a
many
fun
like
magic tricks.
zany gags
Well,
happening too.
it was mild, but it kind of happened in.
They're like, what's
Burt
that
Wonderstone.
behind your ear?
Burt
Oh, it's a
Wonderstone?
gun.
Did you see
You
Burt
know?
Wonderstone?
I did not see Burt Wonderstone. Was it funny?
They kind
No,
of
I
fought. They
did
kind of
that.
magically fought a little
Mm.
bit, It was Jim Carrey and Steve Carell, right? Or not? Steve Carell?
Was it Will Ferrell?
No,
Steve Carell. It was Steve Carell. You're right.
Was it Steve Carell?
Yeah, it was Steve Carell. You're right. You're correct. Don't worry.
I
about
definitely
it.
know it was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Monica, are we gonna do the top 5 turnaround? So the top 5 turnaround. What happens is you and I are on a team right now, Phil. You and I are teaming
I thought we
up.
were the whole time.
We're
I think.
squadding
That's
up.
cool.
No,
Yeah.
but now Monica's going to give us things like the top 5 worst of something, and we have to spin them positively.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the top 5 this week, Monica?
All right. That's why I asked you earlier if you had watched the Oscars. Because we're going top 5 worst Oscar hosts. And this is by Business Insider, so I believe them. I don't
Okay.
know. But
All right.
I'll give you a little bit of their reasons why.
All right.
Top 5 worst hosts?
Worst hosts.
Okay.
Okay.
Why they picked these people, and then you have to stand up for. You have to be like, this is why.
Gotcha.
It's usually a dude. Why he did a good job.
Yes.
Okay, so number 5 worst Oscar host is Chris Rock, but specifically his 2005 show. Not this one he
2005?
just did, but 2005. And they said because he started up top, his monologue, he did jokes about how Jude Law was a bad actor, and it they didn't work at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the rest of the show was just kind of like,
I am going to say that's bullshit off the top because
Yeah.
just because the first part bombs doesn't mean the whole thing bombs.
That's fair.
That's stupid. That's a stupid critique.
So you think they're dumb for not paying close enough attention
I
to
think
the rest
they're
of
dumb.
the
I
show?
think
because
they were. I think what we have here is Business Insider, some closet secret hardcore Jude Law fans, and they're butthurt that Chris Rock did that joke.
That's
And now,
maybe.
and then they're just saying that because they love Jude Law
I
so
really
much.
appreciate your conviction.
heard,
right now.
So
I heard
fuck Business Insider.
Fuck Business Insider.
Okay, well, we have 4 more from them, so.
No, I'm kidding. I heard an interview with one of the writers for Chris Rock on the Oscar monologues that helped him with the 2005 one. And from what I was gathering, it went well. And they wrote a lot of jokes that were very culturally accurate, as I thought he did this time too.
Right.
And he stirs up the controversy, and there should be somebody saying things that people get pissed about on Oscars.
Well, that's what I always
So,
think, and
I think-
especially Chris Rock, he's one of those people that is not afraid to say what everyone's afraid to bring
Right.
up,
Yeah.
and that's his job, and he does a good job of it. So that can make people go, "Ooh, this is uncomfortable," and it's different this time because it had already been an issue before, and if he didn't address it, it would have been fucking weird. But maybe that time he was being real about stuff, and they're like, "Ooh, we weren't ready for that."
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. Well, we were probably in a different. We weren't quite as where we are now with cop shootings and everything. Either,
Right.
So.
It's right here, and he needed to say something, and he did. So, did you enjoy his hosting from the other day? This time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. It was great.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Okay.
to watch it, so I
Oh.
have no opinion. I'm sorry.
4th worst.
4th worst.
Chevy Chase, 1988.
Oh, this is gonna be hard to defend.
What?
He said his comedy style was never the most personable, which was why Business Insider thought he was a weird choice because he's not a very personable person. I'm trying to think, but he had hosted before,
Positive spin.
right?
Caddyshack is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Did you not?
This is why there was some points where he needed to ad lib and it just bombed.
Oh
Mm.
no.
Did you see Vegas Vacation? I mean, that's
Yeah.
a great. That is a
also,
great movie.
1988, the year I was born. Yeah, positive spin that. There you
Positive
go.
spin. Mike was around for
born.
this one.
Oh, that's a great. Yeah, that's a great year
Yeah, thank you, man.
for the
Thank you, buddy.
Oscars. And
That one you guys
I
struggled.
mean,
with that
Chevy Chase hosting the year that you were born.
Because he knew.
How could-
He's
how could he
like,
fail?
You gotta welcome this person into the world by.
You could have asked for a better
Yeah.
host of the Oscars.
You know what?
Okay,
Thank
here
you,
we go.
Chevy. Fuck you, Business Insider. Next one.
Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is
Just the
too
reason
classic
for-
of a comedian to ever be told that he's the worst at anything.
Oh yeah, he
So-
doesn't give a shit. He's a legend. Okay, third worst, Seth MacFarlane, and that was 2013. Now they say that the biggest reasons were he poked a lot of fun at gender and race, and they said that was probably more suited for the drunken Golden Globes crowd because you're allowed to drink at the Golden Globes and not at the Oscars.
Right.
So,
That's hard
he's
for
a
me.
weird
This
guy.
this one's gonna be a little harder for me to
It's gonna
defend.
be hard to spin, but this is
I'm not a fan of his,
it goes
but-
back to what you said about Chris Rock, where I think you have to be kind of touchy at these things to make it.
yeah, but the way that he comes across is a little less important and he's not pushing a boundary. He's literally
Here's
just
how I'll spin
poking
it.
fun at gender and race. Like it's not.
Seth MacFarlane, I don't remember if it was for the original opening part of the show or it was another part of the show, but they did a huge Family Guy, like a live Family Guy, like opening act.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, it was a great.
It was good
show.
because
Yeah.
the presence of Family Guy.
Because we got to
made
see
it.
Family Guy
Okay,
at the Oscars.
I do love Family Guy for how much I'm not really a Seth MacFarlane fan,
Correct.
like him in anything else. Just
Dude,
I really
Million
don't like
Ways to
him.
Die in the West. That was kind of funny.
That
He was
was
the worst
a
part of that movie,
terrible-
though.
He
The
was the
only
worst
good
part.
part was Charlize Theron and just the ridiculous.
It looked like
The
he was just.
ridiculous.
It was 90 minutes of
I'm gonna
Seth
go get us some
MacFarlane
whiskey.
trying to be
Take your
funny.
dicks out. Yeah, exactly.
Trying to be funny.
And it was too much of him. Like there was,
Yeah.
they had other characters I felt like they could have expanded on. Anyways, so Family Guy is great, and there you go. It was
Yeah.
in there. All right, number 2, David Letterman in 1995. I don't know if you guys. So you had to follow Whoopi Goldberg, who we all know was like the historic. Like she hosted a bunch of times. Everybody loved her. So then he had to take it after her, which is hard.
It's always hard to take it after Whoopi, huh?
Bang, bang, bang. Finger.
He made a joke about
guns.
Oprah that made everybody like kind of cringe.
People
And
just
then
don't
there
like it
was a
when you
dog
talk
that was
Oprah.
just spinning in circles at some point.
And that's the reason why it was
And that's
he was
the
the
reason
best.
why?
It was-
Because he had stupid human tricks
Yeah,
on the Oscars.
yeah.
Or stupid pet tricks, I'm sorry.
David Letterman is like the original guy. I feel like that would his sense of humor is you're an idiot, I'm better than you, kind of. Although didn't Johnny Carson do that too? Didn't he kind of get that more from Johnny Carson?
I don't know.
Completely going back on what the thing I just immediately said.
Yeah, he was the original.
He's the original.
But
no, he
it
wasn't.
doesn't really matter if he is like that. Yeah, that's a hard type of person to host something
Yeah.
when you're like, let's pay tribute to all these great actors, and you're like, but kind of fuck all you too. You know,
Yeah.
like that's a hard thing to have as a host.
I think it's different.
Okay, are you ready? And I remember this pretty well and why they picked number 1.
All right.
It's pretty obvious. James Franco and Anne Hathaway. Do you remember that in 2011?
Yeah.
Like he came out in a dress at one point and like
Sure.
it was just I feel like both of their personalities are so boring that it was weird to have them like she has always bored me to death. Like all of her
Yeah.
speeches or anything, she's weird and boring. to me.
I remember they hired them to get a younger demographic watching the Oscars.
Yeah, which I mean might have worked, but now they're never gonna watch again.
I think
Yeah.
you're rude because I love Anne Hathaway.
You like Anne Hathaway?
I love James
I like
Franco.
her. I like both of them as actors.
I love her as an actor, and I love her as in I'm kind of in love with her.
Someone once told
Too
me
much?
I had her mouth.
You got her mouth? Can I look at your mouth?
I
real
feel
quick?
like that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think you have Anne Hathaway's mouth. I think you have a very nice, normal Monica mouth.
You saying hers is not. Yeah, that's what I always tell people. They're like, "Oh, do you know which celebrity you look like?" And
I'm
like,
trying to
Monica Nevi.
imagine your
But they never
mouth.
know who that is.
This sentence could go weird, but I'm trying to imagine your mouth. Just yeah,
Here, let me cover the top of my face.
just leaning over Bruce Wayne's shoulder, whispering
Right, okay.
it into it.
like Catwoman style.
Yeah,
Monica, can you put on this Catwoman outfit real quick?
I'm already wearing one. Don't be ridiculous.
really. And I don't see it.
So
Not that you couldn't be a great Catwoman.
why, as the host, though, do you, when they're like, "We're gonna put you in a dress"?
Oh,
Did
it's
he
so
go-
funny because it's a guy wearing a dress. That's
did he go,
zany.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I feel
don't
like James Franco has the weirdest integrity artistically,
know. Okay.
and will just do anything
That
because,
is
but
true.
he
He
can
does
do
have
it.
a weird.
He will
kind
do
of
it the best, so that's why he
range
says yes.
of performances,
He's
I feel
a
like.
weird guy, and I think he can seem off-putting to people, but I like him.
Yeah,
But you're right about that. I think he does have like quite a range of like things that he's been in. So there's certain
Sure.
things I really like, but certain things I'm like, I don't think I like this. Like it's
he will do
So-
anything. He can do anything.
yeah.
That's what I think it is.
He's like, I can wear
Not
the
that he
shit out
will
of this
do.
dress. So
he
yeah,
can
there you
and
go.
does. Yeah.
For his confidence, that's good.
Yes, James Franco's the shit.
And maybe
I
that's
think
the
your
other
mouth
part
is
of
very
why
different
they
from
were
yours.
the worst to everyone, because the audience who was watching the Oscars was older, and then maybe they were writing stuff for that younger demographic. So if you're already watching the Oscars, you're like, what the fuck are these people doing?
And it's hard for me to say that this is a good reason, but I would say, oh man, it's hard for me to say. I don't like co-hosts of a show.
you're like two.
I don't like to.
Yeah.
Like the Amy Poehler Tina Fey thing,
Oh, really?
but they killed it.
yeah.
So I could see like that this was a good idea. This was before that, but you know, giving it a shot, trying something different That's how I'll spin it.
Yeah.
They tried something different.
Yeah.
You know,
and,
good on them for trying something different.
Yeah, you always got to take that step, and if it doesn't go well, then you reevaluate, which they
You
did.
know,
So
I'm looking at Anne Hathaway's mouth right now.
Okay.
You don't have Anne Hathaway's mouth at all.
some drunk lady in a bar in Renton once told me that. It doesn't mean that it's true.
Well, yeah, I just want to hear something.
In any case, it'd have to be
I
the
was
lips
just
more
trying
than the
to
teeth,
give
though,
her-
too, right?
Do you want to hear
Well,
something
yeah.
kind of creepy though? Is there's a website called HD Wallpapers, and they have a bunch of pictures of Anne Hathaway that you're supposed to put them as the background on your computer. That's
Yeah,
kind of creepy, right?
Oh, that's how.
That's for
there's
a lot of things, people.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Wallpapers are very.
I would like
popular.
to. I think you could maybe Monica get close if she did the Kylie Jenner challenge.
What's the
Kylie Jenner challenge?
What? You guys don't know
No.
about
No,
the Kylie
this is
Jenner
exciting.
challenge? Okay, somebody go get a shot glass.
Oh no.
You take a shot glass, put it over your mouth, and you start sucking
Okay.
all the air out until your lips start getting poofier and poofier, and then you. I mean, it depends on how
so
ridiculous
my
you want
lips
to
were
go.
A little,
And then,
Oh,
yeah,
puffy.
jeez.
if you just had a little more puff, I think you might have the shape.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, maybe
you just need a little more puff.
I was drinking at the time, so maybe that's why.
You never know.
Those look so creepy. It makes your lips do that?
Mike, you should definitely do that.
That's terrifying. No, it's scary looking. We don't really have time to take the quiz at all. We're at 54
Oh,
minutes.
come on, let's do a quick quiz.
You wanna do a
Quick quiz.
Yeah.
Actually, this one is
Quick quiz.
Which one is
Quick
quick?
We're going to
quiz.
do the musical one.
Okay.
So your quiz, because we will actually do one that's not at all related to what we've been talking about.
Sure.
Is which musical bad girl are you?
I can't
You
wait to
ready?
find
This
out.
is pretty important, I think.
So you got to pick a superhero.
Musical bad girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Okay, I have to pick a superhero.
Yeah, I chose Batman.
Well, I feel
Let's see, the
like
choices are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Hulk, Thor, Deadpool.
well,
I'm gonna pick
I
Wonder
feel like
Woman.
because of the theme of the questionnaire, I'm going to choose Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman? Monica
Yes.
chose Wonder
Solid.
Woman too.
That's okay.
And I think I like probably
What are
her the
you
best out of
attracted
all
to
those.
in a partner? Looks, humor, sensitivity, talent, intelligence, or loyalty?
Or this, is being quiet an option?
I'm going to go with
Quietness? I chose humor.
I think I would have to choose humor too. Sensitivity I like though.
I'm gonna go loyalty, I guess. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
I want you all about me, you know.
Now you got to pick a MAC lip shade. I don't know what that is. I picked the bottom
MAC
left
is
one.
a brand of lipstick.
Okay, I chose the
That's why
bottom
there's
left
all
one.
the
which
That's
is-
going to look good on me or look good on like what I like to see
Whatever
on
you like
somebody.
to see.
Either way, it says pick a shade, so it would be your favorite just shade. It's just the
Mhm.
color.
I picked the bottom left one, which is kind of a orangey color, I think. Is it orange?
Either like the top middle
It's
or the
red.
bottom
It's like
right.
dark. It's like
Top, middle, and
Vibrant
bottom
red.
right?
Top middle or bottom right.
Which one do you want?
Okay.
You got to choose one, buddy.
I think let's go top middle.
Top, middle?
Good, because I'm going bottom right. I like dark.
Yeah.
Not on me, but
All right. How do you spend your free time?
Kind of like baby
reading
pink
a,
lipstick.
my boyfriends. I like dark lipstick.
Yes.
How do you spend your free time? Reading a book, watching a movie, surfing the web, working out, shopping, or sleeping? I picked watching a movie.
Yeah, me too.
I like movies.
All right, well, that
We all
just
gonna be the
walking
same
around
superhero.
aimlessly was not an
Oh.
option, but that's close to
What
working
did
out.
you choose?
so-
Working out?
No, I said walking
What
around.
is your favorite song right now? Love Yourself by Justin Bieber, Stressed Out by 21 Pilots, My House by Flo Rida, Hands to You Myself by Selena Gomez, Pillow Talk by Zayn, or Work by Rihanna? I chose the Justin Bieber song because it's the only one I really recognize from that
Wow.
entire list.
I think you would know the. Whoa,
I've been digging Selena Gomez and her new like just attitude and
Yeah,
spunk.
into it.
Yeah,
she's-
I don't know if I
she's
know that
pretty
song.
Fierce.
Yeah,
She's
I'm a-
pretty fierce.
Yeah.
The answer's
So I'm gonna
gonna
go with-
pop
I'm
up,
going
but
Work
I don't
With
want you
by
to look at
Rihanna.
it yet.
Okay.
So you got to go over there when
Oh,
I
okay.
Realize this is straight up like
when I got to click Selena
musicals.
Gomez.
This is like musicals.
Yeah, like actual musicals.
Right, didn't realize.
Like the Chicken Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who you got? She a
I don't
bad
know.
girl?
So
I don't
should
get
I
to
go
look
first?
yet.
yeah, you go first. Mom.
All right, I'm Velma Kelly from Chicago.
Oh, we all got
I
different ones.
saw
so that's
Chicago
good.
live. It
You
was
can look
dope.
now because it's on.
Which one's Val?
I'm a sure
Kelly.
sinner.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I
All
got.
right, you don't care
You got that one
who
too?
you have to
No,
kill to
you-
get to the
yours is
top. Thank you for
different.
letting
Oh.
me describe that.
Sorry,
to
you go
everyone.
ahead.
I'm sorry, one more
I
time.
already did it.
Oh.
I did.
I got Betty.
I'll fucking kill you is basically what it says.
I got Betty.
She's the no, that's Roxy Hart.
Yeah, but she said it says you don't care who you have to kill to get to the top.
I got Betty
Right.
Rizzo from Greece.
Ooh.
You're tough, sarcastic, and have quite a reputation, but that doesn't mean you don't have a soft side. A fact I bet you never knew.
You also don't mind having pregnancy scares.
I don't mind having pregnancy
doesn't
scares.
scare me at all. It's just another
Yeah,
pregnancy.
knock me up. Let's go for it.
All right.
Anyway, the last you got, Phil, Amber Von Tussle from Hairspray.
Oh shit.
Some say see you as the nicest kid in town, but deep down you're a bit of a diva and live for the limelight. And you have this gif of you just shrugging your shoulders.
Yeah, like who?
I think
Who
that's
is this?
totally accurate.
Yeah.
Sounds accurate, yeah. I like it.
Everybody thinks I'm the
That's
nice guy, but I know I'm the shit.
Well, that's
This
exciting.
was a fun one.
I feel good.
All
Cool.
right.
I feel
Ready?
great.
Charity.
You guys are great.
You're great.
Thank you.
You're great.
Oh,
We gotta do the
thanks,
charity now.
Yeah,
What's
my
the
new
charity that we-
segment called Dope Human Beings.
Dope human beings.
Which then leads into the charity. I really like this. When I was on the road this week. I was in Vegas and then in Tucson, and so that means I watch a lot of TV. I was watching HBO, and there was a documentary about James Wright Foley, who, if you don't know, was one of the reporters. American reporter that was held captive in Syria for a really long time and then was beheaded on camera by ISIS. And he had gone to Libya and then was actually kidnapped and detained there for like a year. And then they got him out and he was home for like 6 months. And then he went back to Syria to like report, because he basically got very invested in it and was like, we're not seeing the correct things. Like, he wanted to go and report in the field because he wanted us to be able to see what was actually happening and really bring light to kind of the civilian side of it. And like, he was friends with a lot of people who lived there. And then he gets kidnapped again. And it's like a full year of his family trying to get him back and dealing with, like, it was straight up like ISIS emailing them and being like, we want this money. And he ends up in this place with like 20 other reporters, some American, but then there's like French and British and like all these different dudes in this one place, and they would come in and like beat the shit out of him. And so the story itself is kind of aggressive, but all the other reporters were like, he was like the nicest guy. He made everybody, you'd like sit down in a circle every day and you'd be like, just say something nice to the person next to you. Like, just like, he was like the guy. They like made up games and stuff. I don't know how mentally you deal with like being kidnapped. So then slowly all these guys are getting out. And he thinks he's going to get out in the next like 2 days, and they take him out, and instead of letting him go home, like all these other guys got to go home.
Legitimately got to go home?
Mm-hmm. They did a video with him and killed him. And it's actually a really interesting documentary, and like there's just so much that we don't really know that's going on over there. But before he like got into all that, he spent a lot of time with like youth education, and he'd go into kind of impoverished areas and teach. Like, he would just straight up like teach English and stuff. So he's just a cool guy overall, which, I mean, obviously this sucks for anybody, but it's even worse that it's someone who's like helping anyways. But the James Foley Foundation.org, and there's a couple different things you can learn about. It's hostage freedom, because this happens a lot where they take reporters. Conflict reporting itself and just how important it is. And then also they have other things for the youth education work that he did that you can donate to and kind of check out there as well. So I thought that was interesting. Sounds like a pretty dope guy. Sad that happened to him. But his family's kind of keeping it going, I guess. Do you have any favorite charities, Phil?
I just saw something that I found was interesting, and I don't know if I should say it now or after, but do you actually do show notes?
Yeah.
That's really cool. So then you post everything that you might have talked about that as a link, or like, will you post a link
I'll post links to that, yeah.
of like Louis Anderson as a mom?
I can do that, yeah.
We should. Yeah.
I can totally do that.
Because then it's like you could follow along and just click things.
Yeah, we'll put the quiz
looking
so people can take the quiz too.
See,
and
that's
then
cool.
we put the charity and then whatever else I said earlier that you should put a link to. Oh, the shirts.
You guys are special.
Shirts. Thanks.
You're special.
You're
great.
Special.
You're great. Never
You're
change.
great. You're magical.
As far as charity goes, yeah, there's got to be some kind of Magic Foundation charity out there for underprivileged kids that want to learn to do magic.
Yeah, if there's not, you should fucking start one. That's a cool idea, actually.
So look that up.
Look that up.
Find one and give to them.
That's awesome. All right.
Okie dokie. Well, this has been fun, you guys.
So fun. Thanks for doing it, Phil.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Yeah, you're great.
You're great. Phil and I are going to work on becoming the best kids magicians in LA now.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave then.
All right. You get your mohawk?
Kids are great.
Bye-bye.